Here's my in-depth glowy makeup tutorial. Okay, so before I put any makeup on my face, I like to go in with this Thayer's Milky Toner as well as the Rhode Glazing Milk. For primer, I like the e.l.f. Power Grip one. This one really helps my makeup stay on really well, so I make sure to push it in right here where my makeup tends to come off. Same with my chin, and then some on my forehead as well. Just to add a little bit more of glow, I like to go in with this Iconic London Underglow Blurring Drops, as well as this Oréal Lumi Glotion. This one has a tint to it, so I don't like a ton of it, or you can look kind of shiny, but I like to mix the two of them together. I like to blend it out with a flat brush. This one's from e.l.f. It's the Buffing Foundation one. And then also I like to blend it down my neck a little bit, just so there's not any harsh line right there. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of this Hourglass foundation. I don't want to wear a ton today, just because my skin is fairly clear right now, but I am gonna take it on my T-zone as well as my chin. Going in with this Patrick Ta She's Bronzed, and I like to go in with the cream bronzer. And then I focus it mostly on the top part of my forehead as well as my cheekbones. And then I do a little bit under here to kind of sharpen my jawline. Going in with the Born This Way concealer. This is in the shade Sand. And then I just like to put a little. Now I'm going in with a lighter concealer. This is the Hourglass one. And I like to put it in my inner corner and on the edge and a little bit on my forehead. Here. Okay, this is it, blending it out with a brush, but then I like to go in with a beauty blender and then just tap it in. The liquid blush, I love the Essence one as well as this e.l.f. one. I like to go in with both, but this one is a really pretty pinky shade. And then I like to do it on the higher part of my cheekbone. I use this Real Techniques brush and just make sure I blend it up and you're not blending it down. I also like to blend it a little bit under the concealer. For powder, I use the One Size one. This is Ultra Pink. This is the best setting powder I've ever used. Okay, I like to go in with the powder puff, pack it on there, and then put some on my hand, and then press it really hard into the side. Just look at the difference. For my forehead, I like for it to be a little bit more glowy and not as matte as under my eyes, so I go in with a brush. This one is also from Real Techniques, but like just look at with a bigger brush, tap off any excess, and then set the bronzer and the blush with it. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with powder bronzer. This is the Hoola one. I just go right back in where I put all the liquid bronzer. Then I do the same for blush. This is the PURR Cosmetics one. Very pigmented, but it is very pretty. I want to do a lot for eyeshadow, so I'm just going to do bronzer today. Going with a little liquid highlight. This is the Charlotte Tilbury one. I like to just use my finger and then put it on my cheekbone. Okay, before I do my eyebrows, I make sure to take a Q-tip and get any makeup products out of them. This is like my biggest pet peeve, is when I see foundation in somebody's eyebrows. For brows, I love the NYX felt tip ones. Zoomed in so you can see, but I like to go in any area that's kind of thin, like right here, and then it just makes a perfect like brow hair. On the top right here, just a little bit. For brow gel, I use this one from Anastasia. Your brows will not move with this. One of the few brow gels I find that don't become flaky. Okay, that's the brows with the gel. I like to do setting spray before I do mascara, just because I feel like once I put setting spray on over mascara, it can sometimes make my eyelashes droop. It's very similar to the airbrush one. And this will help like make all the powder sink in and bring the glow back into my face. Okay, for my eyelashes, I like to curl them really close to the root, as close as possible, and then like pulse with it And then I'll move it a little bit up and then pulse again. Maybelline Sky High is my all-time favorite mascara. I have not even found a high-end mascara that I like better than this one. Like, for my eyes, I like to go in with a dark brown mixed with a little bit of black. And I put it as close to like right under my bottom lashes. I don't like wearing bottom lash mascara. I feel like it looks like just too much on me. So I kind of just pack this under my eyes. Last thing is my lips. I like to use Charlotte Tilbury in the shade Super Size Me. The lipstick also from Charlotte Tilbury in the shade Kiss of Mystery. Lastly, I go in with this stuff from Natrium. It's a really pretty gloss, and this is in the shade Jam. And that's it. Bye, guys.